Same flood. Same ark. Same prophet. How many prophet Noahs does the world really know? Yet one version saves the family, another tells of a son who drowns. This isn't a contradiction, it's a question about justice, mercy, and what salvation really means. Prophet Noah is not just a historical figure. He is a turning point in human history, a line between a world that ended and a world that began again. Before Noah, humanity reached a breaking point. After Noah, humanity was given another chance. But here's the question most people never ask. If Noah is the same person, why does his story change so deeply between the Qur'an and the Torah and the Bible? Is one story correcting the other? Or are they answering different questions altogether? Today we'll walk carefully through both narratives, not to judge, not to argue, but to understand. First, what happens after the flood? Second, what happened to his sons? Were they all saved, or was faith stronger than blood? Be patient, because the most important idea comes at the very end. Before we compare the differences, let's briefly remember the moment both traditions share. The flood has ended, the ark has landed. Noah and those with him step back onto the earth. Humanity begins again.
The clean beasts by
Now this is where the stories separate. In the Torah and the Bible, what comes next is a covenant. God makes a clear promise to Noah, and not only to him, but to all humanity and all living creatures. The promise is simple and absolute. Never again will God destroy the entire world by a flood. This is not just a verbal promise, it comes with a visible sign, the rainbow. As described in the Torah, from Genesis 9:12 to 13, this is the sign of the covenant I am making between me and you, and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. This passage is part of a specific biblical narrative and has been widely discussed and interpreted within its own historical and theological context. The rainbow becomes the symbol of the covenant. Every time it appears, it reminds humanity of God's promise. Judgment has a limit. Total destruction will not happen again. In this tradition, the flood closes one chapter and the covenant opens a new one, a world preserved, protected, and allowed to continue. In the Qur'an, there's no sign in the sky, no rainbow, no physical symbol at all. Instead, there's a moment of speech in the Qur'an, Surah Hud 11:48. It was said, "O Noah, descend in peace from us, and with blessings upon you and upon nations that will come after you." This isn't a promise that judgment will never happen again. It's a promise that life goes on. The flood doesn't erase responsibility. It ends the warning, but not accountability. There's no symbol that guarantees permanent safety. Only words reminding humanity that peace, blessing, and responsibility continue from this point forward. Up until now, the story was about humanity, about floods, about covenants. But now, the story becomes personal. Because the next difference is not about the world, it's about a father and his sons. This is where the story becomes deeply human. Because now we are no longer talking about humanity as a whole. We are talking about Noah's sons and what happens after the flood. The sons of Noah in the Torah and the Bible. In the Torah and the Bible, Noah has 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All 3 enter the ark. All 3 survive the flood. Salvation here is family-based. Noah's household is saved together. But after the flood, the story takes an unexpected turn. Noah becomes drunk. His nakedness is exposed. Ham sees his father's shame. When Noah awakens, he does not curse Ham directly. Instead, he curses Canaan, Ham's son. Genesis 9:25, in the Hebrew Bible/Old Testament. After Noah awakens, the text says, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be to his brothers." This moment introduces a powerful idea. Blessing and curse move through lineage. The sons survive because they belong to Noah, but the future of their descendants is shaped by actions within the family. In this tradition, bloodline matters deeply. Salvation, blessing, and even curse are inherited. This is the only moment in the story where Noah speaks as a father, not as a prophet. The sons of Noah in the Qur'an. In the Qur'an, this story is very different. There is no curse of Canaan, no inherited punishment, no generational condemnation. Instead, the test happens before the flood. Noah has a son who does not believe. When the flood begins, Noah calls out to him. He urges him to board the ark. The son refuses. He believes a mountain will protect him, and he drowns. Surah Hud 11:42. Each person stands on belief and choice alone. At this point, it's tempting to ask which story is right, but that might be the wrong question, because God is powerful enough to make every prophet's story exactly the same. If God wanted all the holy books to speak in one voice, they would. So what if the differences are not errors, but intentional? What if they exist to test us, to see whether we argue over details or listen with open hearts to the message beneath them? The Torah and the Bible speak to a world asking, how do we survive after collapse? And the answer is covenant, a promise, a sign, reassurance that life will continue. The Quran speaks to a world asking something else. Who is responsible for that life? And the answer is accountability, belief, choice, and moral responsibility. Seen this way, the differences around Noah are not contradictions. They are focus. One story comforts humanity after disaster. The other challenges humanity after survival. And maybe that's exactly what we need to understand today. Maybe the real test was never the flood, but how we choose to read the story. When we step back from the details, something becomes very clear. The stories are different, but God is one. Whether Noah's sons survived or not, whether there was a rainbow in the sky or a spoken promise on the earth, these details matter for understanding the text, but they are not the heart of the message. The heart of the message is this: God exists, God is present, and humanity is never alone. Across all these stories, God warns. God shows mercy. God gives humanity a chance to continue. So maybe the real question isn't which version we defend. Maybe the real question is what these stories are asking from us. If God is one and the call toward Him is one, then shouldn't our focus be on recognizing that presence rather than arguing over the details? Isn't that a more honest way to read these stories?